Listen closely because what I'm about to tell you could change everything. Life doesn't have to be as complicated as we often make it. You don't need to follow 1,000 steps or get lost in the noise of the world. There are simple rules you can start applying today that will turn your life into something extraordinary. You have the power to create the life you desire, and it starts with these fundamental truths. But let's break it down. First and foremost, take responsibility for everything. You must realize that the moment you own everything that's happening in your life, whether it's good or bad, you step into your power. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become the creator of your reality. People who thrive understand this deeply. They don't blame the economy, their upbringing, or bad luck. They say, I am responsible. I can change this. And when you do that, your perspective shifts. You stop waiting for someone else to fix things and you take control of your own future. Next, focus on progress, not perfection. This is huge. You're not going to get it all right the first time. In fact, you're going to fail. And that's okay. What matters is that you take action, you keep moving, and you keep learning from every setback. It's progress that leads to success, not perfection. So stop waiting for the perfect moment to start. Start now. Do something. Do anything. Action breeds momentum, and momentum will fuel your life like nothing else. Let's talk about embracing change. Too many people get stuck in their comfort zones, clinging to what they know because they're scared of what's unfamiliar. But here's the truth. Growth only happens when you step into the unknown. If you're not willing to change, you're not willing to grow. Challenge yourself every day to embrace change, to try new things, and to get uncomfortable. That's where the magic happens. That's where transformation begins. Another rule is make your health non-negotiable. This isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling your best, performing at your highest level, and having the energy to go after your dreams with relentless focus. Your health is the foundation for everything you want to achieve. Without it, nothing else matters. So eat better, move more, sleep like your life depends on it, because it does. Take care of your body and it will take care of you. The people you spend the most time with will either drag you down or lift you up. Choose wisely. Find those who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be the best version of yourself. If you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a new room. Your environment will shape your destiny, so make it one that supports your dreams. And above all, believe in yourself. Believe that you're worthy of everything you want, because when you believe it, you create it. It's that simple. When you trust in your ability to succeed, the universe aligns with that belief and the doors begin to open. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you will rise, you will overcome, you will thrive. These simple rules, when practiced daily, will transform your life in ways you can't even imagine. It's time to stop waiting for a miracle to happen. The miracle is in the choices you make, the actions you take, and the belief that you can. So go out there and make your life extraordinary. Taking responsibility for everything in your life is one of the most powerful shifts you can make, yet it is often one of the hardest to embrace. We live in a world where it's easier to blame others, point fingers at circumstances, and make excuses for why things aren't going our way. But the truth is, as soon as you take full responsibility for everything in your life, good and bad, you unlock your true potential. You stop being a passive participant and become an active creator of your destiny. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but some things are out of my control. And yes, life will throw things your way that you didn't ask for. Setbacks, obstacles, and challenges that feel unfair. But the key here is this. How you respond to these situations is 100% within your control. You cannot control the actions of others or the circumstances you face, but you can always control your mindset, your choices, and your attitude. It's not about ignoring the reality of your challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see yourself as the person who has the power to change things. When you choose to take responsibility, you stop giving your power away. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions or the right person to come along and fix your problems. Instead, you start taking charge. You begin to ask yourself, what can I do to improve this situation? You focus on solutions instead of dwelling on problems. When you take responsibility, you also stop being a victim of your past. So many people walk around carrying the weight of their history, past mistakes, regrets, and opportunities. They use these experiences as excuses for why they can't move forward, as if their past defines their future. But when you take responsibility, you let go of the stories you've told yourself about why you can't succeed. You stop using your history as a crutch and instead use it as a lesson. Learn from your failures, understand what went wrong, and adjust your approach moving forward. Your past no longer defines you unless you allow it to. You can rewrite your story at any moment by choosing to take responsibility for what you're doing right now. Another important aspect of taking responsibility is that it forces you to recognize the power of your choices. Every decision you make, no matter how small, has an impact on your life. When you realize that your choices matter, you stop blaming others for the outcome of your decisions. You stop pointing fingers at the economy, your boss, your family, or your upbringing. Yes, these things may influence you, but they do not control you. The choices you make every day, how you spend your time, who you spend it with, how you respond to challenges, determine the direction your life takes. When you take responsibility, you also take ownership of your success. Many people look for external validation before they believe they've earned success. They wait for a promotion, a compliment, or recognition from others. But when you take responsibility for your own success, you no longer depend on outside factors to give you a sense of achievement. You define your own success. Success isn't something that happens to you, it's something you create with every action you take. You understand that you have the power to design your life exactly how you want it, and that you are the only one standing in your way. Taking responsibility also means learning to handle failure in a healthy way. Too many people shy away from responsibility because they fear making mistakes. They fear failure, but failure is not the end. It's just part of the process. When you take responsibility, you learn to embrace failure as a stepping stone to success. Every failure holds valuable lessons that can help you improve, grow, and ultimately succeed. If you want to grow, you must be willing to take risks, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. The most successful people in the world aren't those who avoid failure. They are the ones who are willing to fail and keep going. And here's the most important thing about responsibility. It gives you freedom. Paradoxically, the more responsibility you take, the more control you have over your life. When you stop blaming others and start taking ownership of your circumstances, you empower yourself to make changes. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the architect of your life. You're no longer waiting for the world to change for you. You're actively creating the change you want to see. So don't let yourself be caught in the trap of waiting for someone else to solve your problems. Don't let excuses and blame keep you stuck in a life you don't want. Recognize that you hold the key to your own success. The moment you decide to take responsibility, everything begins to shift. Your mindset shift, your actions shift, and most importantly, your results begin to shift. You begin to realize that you have the power to create the life you desire. It's not about waiting for the right time or the right circumstances. It's about taking responsibility and moving forward with unwavering belief that you can shape your future one decision at a time. Focusing on progress, not perfection, is one of the most crucial mindsets you can adopt if you want to achieve success in any area of your life. Perfection can paralyze you. It can trap you in the endless loop of not good enough, causing you to hesitate, overthink, and ultimately prevent you from taking action. But progress, on the other hand, is empowering. It's all about moving forward, even if you only take small steps, and embracing the journey, knowing that improvement comes from consistent effort, not flawless execution. We often think that to succeed, we have to get everything right from the start. We convince ourselves that our work must be perfect before we put it out there. This is an illusion. No one starts at the top. Every successful person you admire has had to fail, stumble, and adjust along the way. The idea of perfection is an unrealistic standard that will only hold you back. The truth is, perfection doesn't exist. What you can achieve, though, is progress, a continuous journey of improvement, learning, and refining. The first step in focusing on progress over perfection is realizing that action is key. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you'll never start. There will always be something more to learn, something else to fine-tune, or some minor detail to perfect. But while you're stuck in the cycle of trying to perfect everything, you're not making any progress at all. The truth is, even a small, imperfect step forward is better than standing still. Every action, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goal. It builds momentum. It creates the foundation for further progress. The more you act, the more you learn and improve along the way. It's important to understand that perfectionism comes from fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of making mistakes. This fear stops many people from even attempting to take the first step toward their goals. They want everything to be ideal before they begin. But let me tell you something. Your fear of imperfection will always be stronger than your desire for success if you let it. When you embrace progress, you confront that fear. You acknowledge that failure is part of the process and that the only way to fail truly is to not try at all. Perfectionism is a form of self-sabotage. It keeps you stuck in inaction, constantly postponing your dreams because you're waiting for the perfect moment that will never come. Once you let go of the need for perfection, you'll find that you become more resilient. Progress teaches you how to bounce back from mistakes, adapt, and grow. When you aim for perfection, you might be so afraid of making the wrong move that you freeze. You might even abandon projects when they don't meet your impossible standards. But focusing on progress means that you start looking at mistakes as lessons, not failures. Every setback becomes a stepping stone. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn. Progress is about embracing the bumps along the way because they are part of your growth. Without these bumps, you wouldn't be learning or evolving. Another powerful shift that happens when you focus on progress is that you develop a sense of momentum. Progress fuels progress. When you make even a little bit of headway, you feel more motivated to keep going. The energy from completing a small task, no matter how imperfect, propels you toward the next step. Each achievement, no matter how minor it may seem, builds your confidence and gets you closer to where you want to be. Perfectionism, on the other hand, keeps you stagnant. It keeps you paralyzed in the planning phase where you think, once I have everything figured out, then I'll start. But the real magic happens when you start and learn as you go. It's the progress that generates momentum, not the flawless execution. Another key benefit of focusing on progress instead of perfection is that you learn how to celebrate small wins. Most people only feel satisfied when they achieve the end result. But that's a dangerous mindset because you'll spend most of your time feeling like you're not enough, that you're not there yet, that you're falling short. When you shift your focus to progress, you start recognizing and celebrating every small victory along the way. Maybe you wrote 500 words today instead of 1,000. Celebrate that. Maybe you made one important connection that could help you grow. Celebrate that too. These small wins are what build your success. They remind you that you're moving forward and they keep your motivation high. Focusing on progress also helps you to embrace the process rather than just the outcome. So often we get caught up in the final destination that we forget to enjoy the journey. The joy of learning, growing, and improving is where true fulfillment lies. If you focus only on perfection and the final result, you miss out on the richness of the process itself. Progress is about enjoying the small moments, learning as you go, and embracing the challenge. When you focus on the process, the outcome will come naturally and you'll be better prepared for it because you've learned along the way. Lastly, progress allows you to keep moving forward no matter what. Perfectionism can leave you feeling stuck, like you have to wait for everything to align before you can take action. But progress gives you permission to continue moving forward, even if everything isn't perfect yet. Gives you the courage to take imperfect action, knowing that every step you take brings you closer to your goal. The key is to stay committed, keep refining, and embrace the idea that perfection is an illusion. When you shift your focus from perfection to progress, you liberate yourself from self-doubt, fear, and inaction. You allow yourself to take imperfect action and learn from your experiences. And in doing so, you'll find that success comes not from having everything right, but from the courage to keep moving, one imperfect step at a time. Embracing change is one of the most powerful actions you can take to unlock your true potential and grow in ways you never thought possible. It's easy to get comfortable, to stay in a routine, and to resist change. Change is often viewed as something to be feared, something that disrupts the familiar and threatens the status quo. But here's the reality. Change is the only constant in life, and those who thrive are the ones who learn to embrace it rather than fight it. If you want to level up, if you want to break through the limitations that hold you back, you have to make peace with change and welcome it into your life. The first thing you need to understand is that change is inevitable. Whether you like it or not, life is constantly evolving. The world changes, technology changes, people change. And most importantly, you change. Change is part of the process of life, and it's essential for growth. The more you resist it, the more you stay stuck in the past, unable to move forward. But when you accept change as a natural part of life, you stop fighting against it and start harnessing its power to move you closer to your goals. The people who succeed are those who adapt and evolve with the times. They understand that change is not something to be afraid of, but something to embrace. Fear of the unknown is often the root of resistance to change. It's natural to feel anxious when faced with something unfamiliar. The brain is wired to seek comfort and predictability, and when we step into the unknown, it triggers a sense of vulnerability. But it's important to remember that growth never happens in the comfort zone. Every time you choose to step outside of what you know, you create an opportunity for growth. Change challenges you to expand, to learn new things, and to become more than you were yesterday. The discomfort you feel when faced with change is not a sign that you should avoid it. It's a sign that you're about to grow. One of the biggest obstacles people face when embracing change is the fear of failure. Many people resist change because they're afraid they won't succeed or that they'll make mistakes. But what if you changed your perspective on failure? What if you saw it as an essential part of the learning process rather than something to be avoided at all costs? When you embrace change, you also embrace the possibility of failure. But failure isn't the end, it's simply feedback. It's an opportunity to learn, to adjust, and to try again. You get stronger, more resilient, and more prepared for the next step. Another reason we resist change is that we fear losing control. We like to feel like we have a firm grip on our lives, that we can predict what's coming next. But the reality is control is an illusion. No one can control everything, no matter how hard they try. Life will always throw curveballs, unexpected challenges, and disruptions that are beyond our control. However, the one thing you can control is your response to change. You can choose to embrace it with open arms, to see it as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. When you stop trying to control everything, you free yourself to flow with life rather than against it. And the key to embracing change is to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing change as something disruptive or uncomfortable, start viewing it as a catalyst for new possibilities. Every time change comes into your life, it opens up new doors, new opportunities, and new experiences. When you're open to change, you're also open to innovation and creativity. You start looking for solutions rather than focusing on the problem. You stop seeing obstacles and start seeing opportunities. It's all about how you choose to look at it. If you see change as something positive, something that can lead to greater things, you'll find that you are far more willing to embrace it. People who thrive in the face of change also tend to embrace the unknown with curiosity. Rather than dreading the uncertainty, they approach it with excitement and wonder. They understand that the unknown is where growth happens. Every time you step into the unknown, you expand your horizons, you learn new skills, meet new people, and gain new perspective. The unknown is where the magic happens because that's where you have the chance to reinvent yourself and explore new possibilities. If you allow curiosity to drive you, you won't fear change. You'll embrace it with the anticipation of what it might bring. Embracing change doesn't mean blindly jumping into everything that comes your way without a plan. It means being open to new experiences, new perspectives, and new opportunities, even if they push you outside your comfort zone. It means being willing to take risks, knowing that failure is just a stepping stone toward success. It means learning to adapt and pivot when necessary without being so rigid in your thinking that you miss the chance for growth. The more you embrace change, the more resilient you become. You learn to bend without breaking, to navigate the storms of life with confidence and grace. One of the most powerful ways to embrace change is to start small. You don't have to make massive shifts all at once. In fact, small changes, when implemented consistently, can lead to monumental transformation. Whether it's changing your daily routine, trying a new way of thinking, or stepping out of your comfort zone in small ways, every step you take toward embracing change is a step toward a better version of yourself. Over time, these small changes add up, and before you know it, you've completely transformed your life. Finally, remember that change is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that unfolds over time. The more you embrace it, the more you'll see how it leads you toward growth, success, and fulfillment. Change is the key to unlocking your full potential, and when you stop resisting it, you'll discover that the opportunities it brings are endless. The people you surround yourself with have an undeniable impact on your success, growth, and overall well-being. The energy, mindset, and attitudes of those around you can either propel you forward or hold you back. The truth is, we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. This doesn't just apply to your friends or colleagues, but to everyone you interact with regularly. Choosing to surround yourself with people who uplift, inspire, and challenge you is one of the most important decisions you can make if you want to reach your full potential. When you surround yourself with people who elevate you, you put yourself in an environment where growth becomes not only possible, but inevitable. These are the people who challenge you to be better, to think bigger, and to push beyond your comfort zone. They believe in you even when you don't fully believe in yourself. They see your potential and encourage you to step into it. The impact of these individuals is profound. They act as mirrors reflecting the best version of you, urging you to rise to that level. One of the most powerful benefits of surrounding yourself with positive driven individuals is that they push you to set higher standards for yourself. Without these people, it's easy to get complacent. You might settle into the routine of mediocrity because there's no one around to challenge you, to hold you accountable, or to remind you that you are capable of more. But when you associate with those who strive for excellence, it forces you to examine your own goals and ambitions. They raise the bar not by competing with you, but by demonstrating what's possible. They show you that you're capable of achieving things you never thought were possible. By simply being around people who refuse to settle for anything less than their best, you'll be inspired to do the same. Additionally, people who elevate you can provide a sense of community and support. Life is full of challenges, and having a supportive network is critical when facing adversity. When you're surrounded by people who have your best interests at heart, who are there to encourage you through tough times, you don't feel like you're facing life struggles alone. Their support can make all the difference when the road gets tough. They listen without judgment, offer wisdom without hesitation, and offer their help when you need it most. Their belief in your potential serves as a constant reminder that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders alone. They help you stay grounded and focused on the bigger picture. The most successful people don't get there alone. They get there because they've surrounded themselves with a network of individuals who lift them up and challenge them to rise to new heights. But it's not just about the people who directly support you. It's also about the influence of those who are consistently striving for something greater. The people you spend your time with influence the way you think. If your circle is filled with negativity, self-doubt, and pessimism, it's easy to start believing that success is out of reach, that your goals are too ambitious, or that the world is against you. But when your circle consists of those who focus on growth, possibility, and solutions, it becomes much easier to maintain a positive, success-oriented mindset. Moreover, the people you surround yourself with also shape your habits and behaviors. If you're surrounded by individuals who prioritize their health, take care of their bodies, and challenge themselves physically, you're much more likely to adopt those habits yourself. If you surround yourself with ambitious, goal-oriented people, you'll be motivated to set your own goals and work relentlessly toward them. The habits of those around you can either encourage your personal growth or lead you down a path of complacency. The truth is, we are creatures of habit, and habits are contagious. Whether it's adopting a mindset of gratitude, learning to be more disciplined, or simply striving for a healthier lifestyle, the people around you will influence how you think, behave, and operate on a daily basis. However, it's just as important to recognize that not everyone in your life will contribute positively to your growth. There are individuals who will drain your energy, perpetuate negativity, or keep you stuck in your old ways. Toxic relationships can hold you back in ways that are hard to see until you start removing them from your life. These people may bring drama, limit your belief in yourself, or constantly undermine your dreams. They might be well-meaning, but their beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors are not aligned with your goals. Letting go of toxic relationships can be difficult, especially if they've been a part of your life for a long time, but it is necessary for your growth. Being around those who don't support your dreams or who are constantly focused on problems instead of solutions can drain you emotionally and mentally. They may pull you into negative thought patterns and dissuade you from pursuing your true passions. The sooner you recognize these relationships, the sooner you can make a decision to create boundaries or remove yourself from these environments. It's not about being harsh or cutting people out, but about acknowledging that you have the right to protect your energy and your focus. The key to success is intentionality. Being deliberate about who you allow into your inner circle. Take a hard look at the people around you and ask yourself if they are helping you become the person you want to be. Are they lifting you up, encouraging you to go further, and holding you accountable? Are they supportive of your dreams and ambitions? If the answer is no, then it's time to reevaluate your relationships. Sometimes this means finding new mentors, new friends, or new communities that align with your vision. But it's not just about who you choose to surround yourself with. It's about becoming the person who elevates others. As you grow and evolve, make sure you're offering the same level of support, encouragement, and challenge to those around you. Elevate others just as much as you seek to be elevated. Being a positive influence on others creates a cycle of growth that benefits everyone involved. When you help others rise, you rise as well. Together, you create an environment where all are encouraged to reach their fullest potential. The simple rules that we've discussed today are the cornerstones of a life filled with growth, fulfillment, and success. By taking responsibility for your life and embracing your power to shape your own destiny, you stop being a passive observer and start being the creator of your reality. Focusing on progress, not perfection, allows you to take action Embrace failure as a lesson and continuously evolve on your journey. Welcoming change and stepping outside your comfort zone is the path to growth, and it's through change that you unlock your potential and expand your horizons. Finally, surrounding yourself with people who uplift, challenge, and inspire you will propel you forward, creating an environment where you can thrive and become the best version of yourself. These rules are not just theoretical, they are practical tools that, when applied, can transform your life. It all starts with the decision to take ownership, to act, to grow, and to surround yourself with a community that supports your vision. Remember, the power to change your life is in your hands. Embrace these simple rules, take consistent action, and watch as you build a life you never thought possible. Your future is created by the choices you make today, and those choices begin with the belief that you have the power to shape your own success.